Hi and welcome to Lois and Morgana Davidson Art. It's Lois here, and after doing a few days of daily sky practice, I'm now swapping to do daily sketching and drawing practice. Hopefully I will paint this boat at some point, but for now this video is showing you how I sketch it, how I simplify it and interpret it from a photograph that I found on Pixabay. I believe, along with most artists, that sketching and drawing is vital for any kind of art as a foundational skill. If you're an abstract painter, I think it's really important to be able to express reality in some way in order to then abstract from that reality. If you're a loose painter, then finding ways to simplify what you're trying to paint is the important first step. Now, this is the photograph, quite an arty photo that I found on Pixabay that I'll leave the link to in the description below. I mostly chose it because I like the atmosphere and I like the composition, but as you can see here, what I've done is I have not included the amount of damage that this deserted and abandoned boat has got, all the damage to the hull, and neither have I included much detail on the beach or the sky. This exercise for me is done using that photograph particularly because I really like the composition, the angle of the boat. It's a nice strong shape and it appealed to me, and I decided that I wanted to paint it. So the first stage for painting something like this is to sketch it out and to just try and get the bare bones of it, the details and the proportions right. I'm using a B pencil. It's a Mars Lumograph B, so not too soft, not too hard, quite a good grade of pencil. I'm using the back of an old painting for this sketch, and because it's watercolour paper, Saunders Waterford cold press watercolour paper, I don't want to use a hard pencil because it might indent the paper, and I don't want to use a too soft pencil because I might sort of end up making quite a smudgy mess. So I think a B pencil or an HB pencil is really nice if you don't press too hard for sketching out for watercolour painting. At the moment, my intention is to make this quite a rough, sketchy sketch. In other words, I want to get the proportions right, but I'm not bothered about it looking like a finished drawing. I want to use sort of scribbly lines and shading to isolate the main tonal values. The lightest lights will be left the white of the paper. The darkest darks I will press as hard as I can with the pencil. I won't mind indenting the paper once I get to my darkest darks, because at the moment I'm intending for this to be a line and wash painting, so I will be going over this line work, this pencil sketch eventually in ink, permanent ink, and then painting over it. So once I've actually got what I feel is a fairly accurate and convincing looking outline, then I will begin to isolate the darks and try and leave or erase out the lighter tones, because it's dark against light that's going to make this sketch work. It's going to bring form and shape and dimension to the hull of the boat and to the small amount of cabin that we can see. So if I can get the tonal values right, the proportions right, then the rest is going to be up to me to kind of see if I can make sure that it's got some sort of artistic merit. And from that, excuse me, and from that I mean it's interesting to the eye, that I've used my artistic license to sort of create something that's not a slavish copy of the photograph, but it's something that I find interesting and that I want to take further into a painting. So if you decide to sketch along with me for this one sketch a day challenge, again, you can hashtag me on Instagram and I'll take a look and see your drawings, sketches and paintings with hashtag Lois Davidson Art, and I'd really be interested to see if you want to sketch along with me for a few days. I shall leave you with some music and I'll be back either tomorrow or the next day with day 2 of this new one sketch a day challenge. And I hope that you'll enjoy sketching along and realise how quickly your sketching will improve once you actually start sketching more often. And by extension, when your sketching and drawing skills improve, then your painting skills will improve massively, because the framework on which you're working, in other words, the drawing or the sketch, will be so much more convincing and fluent, and that will translate into your painting as well. So I'll leave you with some music while I work through this sketch. I think it took just over 15 minutes to do, so I'm not looking for something highly detailed, but I am looking for enough detail to record the shape, the form, and the basic, all the basic features of this beautiful boat, apart from the damage, as I said before. I'll come back towards the end just to sort of check in and talk about what I ended up with and how I mean to progress with it, and just to sort of check back with you. But now I'll leave you with some music. So that's more or less it for this sketch. Just a few finishing touches, just pulling out a few darker values here and there in and around the railing on the deck, around the back of the cabin. Pressing a little bit harder to get those darker values will make the lighter values, like the cabin, really pop and stand out and start to bring shape and form to this drawing. Remember that I will be getting it a lot darker when I come in with my black ink line work, because this is going to be a line and wash painting. But for now, I'm focusing very much on the sketching. And once I've got a few sketches together, then I shall probably sort of film doing the line and wash and or painting them. We'll see how that goes, see what I've got time for. But for now, it's sketching. I'm really focusing on going back to basics, firstly with my skies, with the one sky a day challenge, and now with this one sketch a day challenge. So I'll be creating a playlist for sketching if I haven't already got one. There might already be one there, I'm not too sure. But if there isn't, I shall create one here on YouTube. So take a look at that if you're interested in more on sketching. And remember, this sketching series will build over the next few days. I might do 4 or 5 days of it. I might do a week. I'm not sure. It depends how much time I've got. But if you'd like to support the channel on Patreon, even just for a month, then follow the link below, and there's a collection there with videos that are just about sketching, along with all sorts of other subjects and workshops for you to follow. So follow the link below if you're interested in that, and there's a link there to Morgana's Patreon page as well, and follow the link there to support her. Both of us really appreciate all the support that you give us here, and welcome to all the new patrons. Again, it's wonderful to see so many new people joining us. So don't forget, hashtag Lois Davidson Art on Instagram if you want to sketch along with me for a few days. And I'll see you very soon. Take care, and happy painting and happy sketching. Bye.